and welcome back to another episode of Over the Glass. I am your host, Jay.
I'm Nessa. Today we have Elijah from Blackout Hockey Club. Would you mind sharing with us how you identify and how you got into hockey?
Yeah, I identify as he, him, and I got into hockey at a pretty young age, actually through elementary school. We had one of those literacy reading programs, and I guess our school hit a goal, and so we actually had Sharky, the mascot, come and visit our school, and that's the first time I got to experience hockey. We later on got to go on a field trip of the SAP Center, and it was awesome.
So you're a Sharks fan for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, can you tell us about your motivation to start Blackout Hockey Club and why you chose that name?
Yeah, so motivations behind starting Blackout Hockey Club. I went through a very rough life experience. I lost my first child and had this weird emptiness and a feeling to do something that meant something, if that makes sense. Um, I wanted to figure out a way to give back. That's something that's always been on my heart, giving back to others, people in need. More focused on the homeless. That's something that's always kind of tugged at my heart. And didn't know how to translate my skills into something that could help others. After talking with some friends, they suggested, like, you got some art skills, why not make t-shirts and use those funds to help others? And so that all I needed from there was a name. That sounded like something I would love to do. And as far as the name, I always thought Blackout would make a really cool band name. Used to be in a band, toured years and years ago, and that was one of the names nobody else liked, but I liked it anyways. So I thought it fit really well with hockey, right?
Seems
What
to,
kind of
yeah.
music did you play?
I played metal, heavy metal.
Metal.
Yeah,
Nice. I guess that suits the name.
right. We got Blackout, and it works.
Can you tell us about the artistic style you use for your designs and the choice to use black and white?
Yeah. So two-part reason why we use black and white. One, it's cheap, and as far as screen printing goes, it keeps it very easy. Printing black on white is one of the easiest things you can do. Keeps it simple. No extra colors needed. It gets into a pretty hectic process once you start adding colors. And I wanted to keep it simple if it was just going to be a small business doing myself. And
Mm-hmm.
then, what was your other question? Sorry.
Oh, your artistic style for your designs.
Artistic style, yeah. We're heavily driven towards like kind of tattoo slash band merch. Got a lot of tattoos. Big fan of the tattoo culture. Did tattoos for a short period. Um, and so I've always just been heavily rooted in the tattoo culture. And as far as the band merch thing, obviously touring, one of my favorite things, favorite parts of touring was collecting other bands' T-shirts. So even if you didn't care for the band, they might have a really cool shirt. And that's something we try to use with Blackout. Maybe you're not a hockey fan, but you might like our design, which we get a lot of. And that helps us kind of raise more funds for whatever we're trying to promote.
That's funny because I actually am. My girlfriend and I are really big pop punk fans, and so we used to follow a lot of bands. Or whenever we went to shows, there was a new band that we were discovering. Whether or not we liked their shows, if they needed the money for the tour, we would go and buy their merch to help them out a little bit.
Yeah,
So
it's the
I
only
get
way you
that.
survive.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm representing today.
Hey, looks great. Thank you so much. I've got a small little one off. We were practicing. Haven't
Nice.
made it yet, but I got one, I guess. It's actually really
Sneak
terrible. It's
peek.
super thick and like grainy.
Is your tattoo background, is that kind of where you got started with your art?
I've been drawn since I was a kid. Just kind of always doodling. A lot of people would always ask me for projects. Growing up, a lot of people asked me to design their tattoos, and that's what kind of got me towards tattoos. But I've just always considered myself a doodler. I was never good with digital media, but I had a friend who actually loaned me his iPad, and he had the little pen and everything with it. I did a few sketches in Procreate, and I was like, wow, this is a lot easier than what I assumed, or at least what it was back in the day, like having to have a Wacom tablet. Yeah, that wasn't fun. It was a
Yeah,
little
I
harder
got
back
one of
then.
those.
Yeah, so now it's so easy. I was amazed by how easy the iPad had made it for me to draw something and slap it on a sticker. And so I went out and got my own iPad, and from there, I just started doing designs. Um, and I didn't even realize it, but a few of those early sketches were actually became Blackout designs.
So did you go to like school or anything, or are you just self-taught and
Just
like you
self-taught.
started off tattoo? Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
self-taught. Just I draw a lot. Everybody who knows me knows I'm drawing with a crayon on a napkin when we go out to eat or whatever's around me. I'll sketching something.
I mean, it's like even if you go and get, academic, teaching and stuff, it's still, at the end of the day, it's your own motivation to get better. And that's
Exactly.
not something school can teach you. It has to come from yourself. So even if you're just sitting down, in the park and you get inspired by something, it's the practice of, I mean, I don't draw. I've drawn in the past, but it's not really my forte. But folks
Right.
who love it, that's where they're doing it. They're just pulling out their sketchbook wherever they go, and that's where their inspiration comes from. So, it's cool to hear you grew up just enjoying that. That's your craft. And then you found things along the way, whether it's tattooing, whether it's getting into what you're now doing with Blackout Hockey Club. I mean, in a lot of ways, I can relate with that. I mean, some folks might not care to do it as a full time gig. I mean, that kind of seems like a dream to get paid for, what you love, but sometimes it doesn't work out and you need to find other ways to continue to do what you love. And I think it's cool that you managed to, in your own way, find an outlet to do that. And I was looking through some of your designs, and we were commenting on like how you like using a lot of skulls. So I guess I kind of have a question about that. Like, where does that? I saw there were skulls. I saw that you did one that I really like, the one with the rose. I thought that was really neat. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Skulls. I didn't even realize I was doing so many until just this past month. We did our first like hockey tournament with a little vendor booth and everything. And everyone's like, "Oh, cool! Like Day of the Dead, I get it." And I was like, "No, but I guess I can't deny it. It's there." I don't know. It's just to me, I guess something I've always kind of drawn a lot. It's also heavy in tattoo culture, and I guess I draw it so much. It just there's so many ways you can do it. It's something I'm comfortable with. And as far as the rose, that was one of our first designs. A buddy of mine actually did it. He had his own clothing company, and I reached out to him and said, "Hey, I've always loved your work. I've always supported what you do. Would you be interested in giving us like our first design? Something we can print ourselves." And the only thing I gave him was hockey and tattoos, and that's what he came out with. And that's been one of our biggest shirts, which is really cool.
Yeah, I really like that one. It's cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can you also tell us about your youth ambassador program?
Yeah. So right off the bat, starting a company, something like a T-shirt brand, we get a lot of people asking to be ambassadors, and you get some really cool, genuine people, and you get a lot of people just looking for free shirts. So it's hard for us to kind of weed through who's who, especially if you don't know anybody. You get a lot of people asking you. They followed you, and within 5 minutes, they're asking to be an ambassador. So we've shied away from having an adult ambassador program, but what we wanted to do was start with the youth. They're, for the most part, they're innocent, right? They're the first people to just want to talk about hockey, and I have long list of DMs of youth just they're interested in our brand. They're interested in talking hockey, and you know how kids sometimes will just run on and run on. So we have long conversations about hockey, and sometimes you don't know how to get out of that. But always wanted to give back. I thought the youth would be a good start for that. And so we started it. Unfortunately, we haven't kept too close with it, which is really hard to do right now. But we sent them the care packages. We had water bottles made for them, custom stickers that say Blackout Youth Ambassador. Send them some free T-shirts, just care packages. Taking care of them from time to time. Some of them still in very close contact. They DM us all their pictures every time they wear a T-shirt or something, and we'll post it on our stories. They'll post their stickers that they do. They'll tell all their friends about us, which is cool. But it feels really good to just be able to take care of those kids, and the messages we get from their parents are huge. Just how excited they were to see that they got accepted into our program, or how excited they are to say Blackout Ambassador on their hockey Instagram page. So that feels good too. That's always nice. It's really cool to see them get excited for it.
Oh, I love that. How do folks get signed up for the ambassador programs?
So for that one, we actually had an opening. We had a post, kind of promoted it, let everybody know, hey, just fill out this quick little form. We had their parents fill it out since they're underage, and we let them know we don't expect anything. We don't want you to. We don't ask that you post. We don't ask that you send us anything, any photos or anything. Just enjoy it, have fun, let us give back, right? And so what we tried to do was select a group of different age groups as well as different regions all throughout the U.S. We didn't want them all local. We wanted them to kind of be spread out, and just you can get the kind of the different backgrounds of where everyone's at and what their hockey seasons are like. And we tried to have a mix of more females, but we only had two um, apply, and out of the two, only one was actually playing in a league, and that was one of our requirements. You had to currently be playing hockey for a league. And so yeah, that's how we got our mix.
Seems pretty easy.
Yeah, there was a lot of kids that went, which was it made it tough. You had your list, you're trying to figure out who you want, and then you've got to unfortunately eliminate some people you really would wish you could have had on the team. But if you have got three people in the same region, it makes it harder.
So I did see that you did some promotional work, in particular with Humanity Showers. It's like a homeless program down in SoCal, I think.
Yeah. So the way I actually met them, I have a cousin. My family's originally from Oceanside, California, down south, and I had a cousin who was at an art show and sent me a picture of one of the displays, and it was a picture of my brother, and I hadn't seen him in a really long time. And so this art gallery was actually the artist was taking pictures of homeless people of Southern California and kind of telling their stories, which was really cool. And I was just blown away to see my brother growing up in Southern California. He's heavily tattooed, a lot of gang tattoos, right? So it was just really cool to see. And so I reached out to him, followed his page, let him know, like, hey, if you're able to contact him still, if you've seen him around, let me know. I'd like to send him something. And I found out that's the same guy who was running Humanity Shower. So I looked into his Instagram page from there and really liked what he was doing. I was like, wow, this guy at one time was able to provide help for my brother who was homeless in that area at the time. If there's anything I could do to give back, that'd be awesome. So kind of brainstormed real quick. We do T-shirts. Thought it'd be an easy way to do buy a shirt, give a shirt. We were able to donate something towards helping out the homeless, get some T-shirts, right? So that's something we're very fortunate to do. Reached out to them. They were super excited to have that happen. We are going to be donating, I believe, at the end of the month. We'll be closing and sending our first package over there to them. There's one last kind of push we want to do, try and do two-part promotion where we're going to do a sale, helps us sell more T-shirts to generate more income to donate more T-shirts to them. And the other part was we have a pretty cool secret I won't let out just yet, but we've got a really cool person who we reached out to and agreed to do some promotion for us, kind of do a quick little video promoting the Humanity Showers promotion that we're running. I can't say who it is, But if you grew up watching hockey movies, you're gonna be stoked. I'm really excited for
Hmm.
it. So maybe I'll tell you off screen after
All
the
right,
recording.
all right.
Very curious.
Yeah, it's really
Okay,
cool.
so as you know, one of the reasons we wanted to have you on this month is because it's Hispanic Heritage Month. Me, also being Latina, is very important to me to celebrate culture. And I was wondering if you can share with us any like cultural traditions that you celebrate and whether or not maybe your culture has helped inspire your work for your brand.
Yeah. Growing up Hispanic, a lot of things that we did. You know how birthday parties are huge, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing. Just last night, we're at a coworker's birthday party. Huge mariachi bands, um, the food, everything. It's just the food in itself is a huge culture, right? We didn't practice too many, I'd say, Mexican traditions. We didn't celebrate Day of the Dead or anything like that. But I think growing up in a Hispanic community had the biggest impact on us, in a positive way. I mean, you definitely see some bad, but to see what it's like to grow up Hispanic and be successful, and we were fortunate enough to grow up in an area where we were seeing successful Hispanics. That's something that was very inspiring to us, to think, oh, we could be first generation to go to college. We could be the first generation to be a homeowner, stuff like that, and to have careers. And that was really cool to see and grow up and having those positive role models.
Yeah, I can relate. I also am first generation. I'm the first in my family to get a bachelor's degree, which is a big deal for us, you know. And
Absolutely.
it's
Congratulations.
thank you. It's an art school, but still.
Oh, no, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I
Degree is
understand,
a
you know,
degree.
my parents, you know, my family are come from like they're hard workers, and so you kind of take that on yourself. So it's nice to see when they become successful.
So, in what ways do you feel that the sport of hockey can expand to be more inclusive for you and for everyone else?
That's a good question. I've never been asked that before. Um, One cool thing, I know this is more of like a physical expansion, but I'm sure you guys are familiar with the area. I'm told there's a pretty good chance of there becoming, or they're opening up I believe, dual rink in Gilroy, which would be huge.
Yes, I did hear
Since
about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that'd be a huge, huge way to help out our community, getting kids into hockey. Right now, I know a few kids who actually travel to San Jose to be in leagues because that's the closest rink to us, and that's it's unfortunate. Before COVID, I was playing, um, learning how to skate a little better, taking a few lessons, and trying to get into the league. But COVID stopped that. But even then, driving an hour each way, that was tough. So it'd be nice to get some local rinks going.
So that's kind of all the general questions that we had for you.
Right
And
on.
so we kind of like to segue into a section that we call fun questions, just to kind of like kick
Let's
back
go. I
and
like it.
chat. Um, if you were a wrestler, what would be your entrance theme song?
Oh,
Something heavy
um,
metal.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go with something really generic that would get people excited. How about Thunderstruck? Right? Hearing that at the Shark Tank? Whoo! That's a really cool
I'm
little
not too
hype
familiar. Can you give
song.
me a little flavor of what that is?
AC/DC, Thunderstruck.
Okay, okay.
I don't want to sing it, but yeah, it's a really cool hype song. You can listen to it. I'm not a singer by any means.
Okay, what world record do you think you have a shot at beating?
Whew, world record. Weird fact, I competitively played Guitar Hero in my teen years and did very well. Won a lot of competitions, and I think I could probably set some type of record. I don't know what, but most songs played without missing a beat, maybe, or missing a note. I could probably do something like that.
I haven't played Guitar Hero in years. Completely forgot it existed.
Yeah, it's a pretty useless skill, but
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure they have a game now that teaches you how to play guitar, but it's like a game
yeah,
where you actually have to hit the chords to advance.
right. Yeah. I played guitar for close to 15 years, and for some reason, I was the only one who couldn't get the hang of Guitar Hero for a really long time, and that's probably what got me playing a lot. I was frustrated that people who didn't play guitar were good at it, and I couldn't figure it out. It's just
It's not the
timing
same.
and all that. It's not. That's probably why I spent a lot of time mastering it.
I had a era where I was playing all those different types of rhythm games. My favorite of the instrumental ones was, have you heard of Drum Mania?
Yeah, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, so I'd go to the arcade almost every day after school to go play it. For the longest time, there was a big gathering of, if you're familiar with the golf lands in the Bay Area, the
Yeah,
arcades. Yeah. So I don't know if they still have them there. I think they got rid of the one that's closest to me, but there'd always be this like group of folks that would go, and it was like this big cool community type thing where you get in line, everyone plays, everyone, it's a big
that's
interactive
awesome.
experience. And yeah, so my thing was DDR and Drum Mania. I could not get the hang of the equivalent that they have for guitar. I don't remember what it's called. But I think there's maybe three buttons, and then you're doing a lot of the strumming on the other end, and like my forearm
Yeah,
would get so tired. So I don't know. And but yeah, Drum Mania was cool. I couldn't get the hang of the crossover with my hands, where you have
yeah.
the top hat and then whatever the other thing is called. So, but
I've always wanted to play
It's
the
a hi hat.
drums.
It's a hi hat,
okay,
Jay.
okay. Sorry,
I'm just
the expert over
They
here,
have
Nessa.
okay, not
names.
expert. Definitely not an expert. I'm just teasing.
Okay, reminiscing about those times.
I know you said DDR, and I was like, I remember that whole craze of going to
Oh my
arcades and seeing kids
gosh.
lined up throughout the whole arcade just for that game.
Oh my
I
gosh.
I'm not a dancer. I don't have that type of rhythm, so
I
I
had
stayed
the
away from it.
PS2 version here at home.
Oh
I
my god.
used to play with them.
I didn't like the home versions because unless you had your setup where the pad won't move around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very elitist about going to the arcade.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's a luxury. Not many people are gonna live like 15 minutes away from an arcade that has it. But yeah, I
Right.
grew up in that little era of the Bay Area where they had like different teams. Like they'd have tournaments, and then they'd invite like the different
Wow.
teams. And I was never good enough to be in the tournament because I just played for fun. But these tournaments
Yeah.
would you had to hit the steps on cue, and then they rank it based on how many points you get, or they have like freestyle version. Neither one I was good at. I was just there as like the groupie type of thing. And I don't know, people like to hang out with me, so that was cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm in with the cool club, but I'm not competing. I'm not that good.
Right on. If you
Yeah,
can play DDR, hey, that makes you cool, right?
I felt cool, so
I remember thinking too. I was like, that's lame. Like, these people really get excited over the game, but I think I couldn't do it.
it's fun. You get a
Yeah.
workout. They're,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm used to not being in the cool club. I mean, I was in band in high school. Everyone, made fun of us, but we're, as long
We were.
as, go
I
ahead.
didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry. Oh.
I mean, that was the crew I was gonna hang out with anyway. We were the weirdos, so and the folks who are making fun of us are the popular kids. Well, I'm not popular, so why am I gonna care what you think? So, anyways,
Good point.
so yeah, so being part of like the nerdy DDR club or like the kid that spends all their time at the arcade, I don't care. I feel cool.
That's all
I
that
miss Nickel
matters.
City. That would have been cool if that was still open.
Oh yeah, I remember going to one, and they also had a DDR machine there. I mean, it's several versions behind, but to be
Yeah,
able
of
to
course.
play it for even cheaper, whatever, I don't care. Uh, What TV show could you watch over and over again?
The TV show that I do watch over and over again is The Office.
Nice.
Um, at least, no lie, 20 times through. At least. All the way, start to finish, every time. Yeah, I love it.
I actually haven't watched it through. I've seen episodes here and there. Yeah, I know.
Gotta watch
It's everyone's so obsessed with it. I'm like, do I need to watch it if people are already telling me what's happening in the show?
it. Yeah. I was a late bloomer on that show. Everyone loved it. And I think sometimes I have that habit of everyone likes it, I don't want to like it. And
Hmm.
so I stayed away, but then I started watching it. I forgot when. And at that time, the last season was actually live. So I was catching up, binge watching all the way through. And it was hilarious. Yeah, so I got to watch the actual like ending live right on time with catching up to the show. But yeah, I love that show. I laughed so much.
I'd say mine right now would probably be Schitt's Creek.
Oh, such a good show.
It is a great
Love
show.
it. Yeah.
I'm terrible with names. Nerdy, the nerdy guy who, oh man, I only know him as Hansel from the Scary Movies. Oh man,
Are you talking about The Office or Schitt's Creek?
in Schitt's Creek,
Nerdy guy.
the guy who's just super oblivious and thinks he's helping, but he's
Is
not.
The dad?
The dad's friend.
Oh,
oh
yes.
oh yeah, now I know
I
who
don't
you're
know why I
talking.
can't think of his name.
Starts with an R, right? Randall or something like that.
Randall sounds right.
It-
But
Let
oh
me
my
see.
I
god,
don't
he's
think it's
hilarious.
Randall.
Just how
I'm
funny
gonna
he
find
is.
it now. I need to know. I think I'm on the right track. It starts with an R. Roland. There we go.
Roland.
Yeah. Yeah, now I catch your scary movie reference. I was like, scary
Yeah.
It's like
movie?
Hansel.
Who?
Some strong hand.
That's pretty much about the only thing I remember from Scary Movie.
Same, yeah, that's the only thing I know him from.
Yeah, he's funny. Everybody
That's a
in
great
that show is just great. I
Oh
like.
yeah.
I think my favorite is probably would probably be David, only because his sarcasm is just, it just
Yeah.
speaks to me. But everybody is just so fun. Like even Stevie, I love Stevie.
Yeah, it's a great show.
My mom loves what's her face? The sister.
Oh,
I'm
Alexis.
blanking on names right now. Yeah, Alexis. 'Cause she used to love quoting, "Ew, David," walking through the house. Silly.
Let's go.
Oh,
Okay.
What about your show, Nessa?
Uh, I haven't. I'm not really one to watch a show more than once, really. But I would agree with either Schitt's Creek or I really enjoyed The Good Place. That one was good.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's with Kristen Bell as the main character, and it's supposed to be about these characters who are in heaven, the good place. And then it's just a really good storyline, like the plot twists and things that you don't see coming. It keeps you wanting to know what happens next.
That's
So
what is
cool.
it, like a
Check it out.
mystery or like suspense type show?
it's definitely a comedy,
Oh,
but
okay.
there is a bit of mystery to it.
Sounds right up my alley. I'll check it out.
I'm
think it's
binging a
on
doctor
Netflix.
show right now, so.
I've been binging The Flash, which I don't recommend because it's bad, but I have to see it through because I'm so far in now.
There's a show I'm watching, Reservation Dogs.
So good, yes.
Yeah,
I
I'm
haven't
in the
seen
second
that.
season now, but I feel like these last few episodes I've been watching are just boring and there's not much to them, but I'm
Oh,
so invested, I gotta keep going. I gotta figure out where this is going.
I haven't started the second season yet, but I would watch it just to like support it because it's not really heard of a
Yeah,
show
it was a
about
really cool
indigenous
show.
kids.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
My friend is impatiently waiting for me to get caught up on Cobra Kai.
I haven't even started that one.
Oh, it's so good.
You're
If
not in the
you're
current season?
so it's the one that just started. I haven't because with all the subscriptions, you forget which one you signed up and then you then
Yeah.
I feel like, oh, I just paid for a whole month and I haven't watched anything. So I'm not starting up my Netflix subscription again until I finish the current season of RuPaul in the Drag Race in the Philippines, and then I will pause that one and then go over to Netflix. So
Right
I'm
on.
like,
That's
one
fair.
moment, yeah, let me wait because
It's
I
a
don't
good
want to.
show.
Yes. If so, Nessa, if you're a big fan of Karate Kid, I was skeptical at first because I was like, "Ooh, you're bringing that back? Oh, that could be bad." Because it's
Yeah.
not. It's not. I mean, it's a great classic if you grew up with it, but it's not something that I feel like if you show it to a Gen Zer, they'd be like, "Oh, that's so cool." But like, I think the way that Cobra Kai has incorporated the love of Karate Kid for the older folks and then made it so that it's more palatable and interesting for younger folks, I think it has like that nice yeah, it doesn't lean so much on just essentially trying to keep the franchise alive, which is what I was a little concerned about with the first season.
Yeah.
So,
With
but it does a good
most
job.
reboots, yeah. Yeah, it's on my watch list, but I have so many things on my watch
Yeah.
list I have to get through.
I'd say if anything, it's nice because it's only half an hour long. Because if it was any
Oh,
longer
okay.
than that, I don't know if it would work out so well. Because
Yeah.
they do a good job of like how they I guess piece together each episode. So you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't wait to watch the next one versus like, oh man, is this episode done yet? Like there needs to be that balance to keep people engaged.
Yeah. They did a good
Um,
job of bringing a lot of the old characters back too.
Not
It
to
wasn't too
spoil.
cheesy. And
No, I've seen some.
Okay.
That's okay. Do you uh do you work from home or do you have like a workshop where you do your screen printing?
yeah. Um, all of the blackout stuff. Yes. Sorry, I'm a little confused.
Okay.
My normal job.
So
I'm in the
yeah,
office.
okay.
Um,
Just I need to know for this next question.
oh yeah. So I'm here in my house. This is my office. One of the bedrooms is dedicated to the office, where I have all my T-shirts and my computers, and laptop, and iPad, all that fun stuff. And then in my garage, I've actually converted it into a little screen printing shop.
Okay, so what is your favorite thing in your either office or your workshop? Or both?
Ooh, my favorite thing would be um, probably my dryer. As weird as that sounds, the screen printing dryer. There's a little bit of a backstory to it. That was one of the things that was kind of uh, I was hesitant on starting screen printing. So I think when we started Blackout, it was after a couple weeks, COVID hit. Boom! All of a sudden, everything took forever to happen, right? So I'm trying to order shirts. They said they'll be here in 2 weeks. It takes 3 months, and that was pretty defeating. On trying to start a clothing business and telling everyone, "Hey, your shirts are on the way. I swear." And yeah, that was tough. So I went from one printer to the other to the next, and everybody had the same problem. So I said, "You know what? I got to do this myself." Start looking up how to do it, what I would need, and the big defeating factor was a dryer. They're huge, they're heavy, and extremely expensive. And so I was like, maybe this isn't going to happen. I'll have to just suck it up. And so I stayed patient. Just kept looking around Facebook and OfferUp, and randomly one popped up on Facebook right in my town. It said $25 on it, and I was like, no, like maybe he meant $2,500 or for whatever stupid reason, 250. And so I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, your post says $25. It's very odd. Um, did you mean 25?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not interested in helping you load it. You just pay $25. Come pick it up. It's yours. I couldn't tell you if it works. Couldn't tell you. Um, it, it's been sitting in our shop for a long time, just covered, and just take the risk." I said for $25. I can risk that. So I grabbed my brother, told him I'd be on my way, loaded up the truck, and this thing was huge. and it takes up a lot of my garage. But plugged it in. I have a coworker who's actually an electrician. He came over, rewired it because you need a 220 volt, kind of like the dryer type plug for that. He actually was able to test the machine. I don't know how that all works. I won't pretend to know, but he's like, yeah, this thing's functioning before turning it on. And then plugged it in, and wham, works perfectly. Amazing. And so $25 for like this big $5,000 dryer. So that's my favorite. I appreciate it every day.
Yeah,
Makes
shoot.
It's the only reason why this is possible.
Yeah, I mean, for 25 bucks, and I'd
Yeah,
imagine that perhaps saves you quite a bit of money. Perhaps that ends up making it
absolutely.
more convenient for you. And just the fact that it showed up when you were kind of looking for options. I mean, I don't
That's a
know.
sign.
I
The
don't know.
universe just throws things at you.
I mean, in this moment, I want to say, there's some kind of faith involved, but I don't believe in any religion. But sometimes, damn, sometimes things happen, and you're just like, okay, yeah, that's what I
What are
needed.
the
Just gonna
odds,
roll with
right?
it. Yeah,
Insane.
crazy.
Yeah,
Insane.
in my family, like when something like that happens, we always say, "Oh, it's the ancestors looking out for you."
I'll
My
go with
go-to
that. I'll
saying is
go with
always
that.
I watched a lot of the Blues Brothers growing up, and every time
Mm.
something weird would happen, they'd be like, "The Lord works in mysterious ways." Maybe things that are just oddball, a car falling off a building, landing right in front of them. Like, the Lord works in mysterious ways. I don't know. Yeah, that's for that to happen. Even the press, everything else. Someone was just getting rid of one. Had to drive out to. I don't know if you're familiar with Ben Lomond. I don't know if that's how you say it. It's out in the hills past Santa Cruz, but I would
I'm
never go back. Oh man, it's in the boonies. You're basically just driving in through the forest, and there's houses on the side of a busted road, and the people were very sketchy. Yeah,
nicely put.
I don't know how to describe it without being rude, but it was a very odd place. And
Mm.
yeah, I packed it up and got out as fast as I could. It's very sketchy.
Have you ever been up to La Honda?
No,
Yeah, that's what I
where's
was
that at?
thinking. That's somewhere between. So if you're in San Jose and you're going up the peninsula, but further out west, it like kind of you go up into the mountain area. And I don't. This was long ago. I think I was looking for part-time gigs while I was going through college. So I don't even
Yeah,
remember what it was about. And on the map, it didn't seem that far away. I don't know. I decided, might as well go out there and see what it is. Yeah, it's you start going up there and you're like, where am I going?
yeah,
Yeah, and I'm committed to get there only just to see it through, but
yeah. The whole
halfway
time
up
you're like,
there,
I could turn around
yeah,
and I'd be
yeah.
fine.
Halfway up there, I was already like, I'm not even gonna take this gig, but I just want to actually see where I'm going,
Yeah,
but it's weird.
same experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough.
Um, would you rather have invisibility or flight?
Ooh, I love would you rather questions. Invisibility or flight? I'm gonna say flight. I'm a big traveler. That would help.
Nice,
And
nice.
as far as invisibility, I don't see how that could help me. It'd be cool, but kind of creepy too.
Get through security.
That's true. That's a good one.
Okay, Nessa, what are you up to?
I just don't want to
Crossing
go through the
borders.
TSA lines at the airport. Like, leave me alone.
Oh man, I just had to go through one, and I lost my ID. It was at a wedding. I flew, went to the wedding, lost my ID, lost my wallet, and had a call. Like,
No.
hey, can I still go through? They're like, yeah, we'll just give you a quick little 5 minute screening. Went through. It was like an hour long screening, asking so many questions. They're on the phone with somebody important. They're like, what's your mother's maiden name? Blah, 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 blah. and it just yeah, it was super sketchy. They're just super sketchy of you the whole time, which I get. Um, but a few questions answered, and they let me fly still. But
They said a quick
yeah,
screening.
it was not a quick screen. And there's things I
That's
had
funny.
to remember, like they put me on the spot, like what's your mom's birthday? I was like,
You don't know your mom's birthday?
I'm so bad. My memory is the worst part of me. It happened to be um, my dad's pin number. My dad's pin number and my mom's pin number are each other's birthdays, and that's the only reason why I had remembered it. Because growing up as a kid, they're like, "Here, take my card. Here's the pin number,"
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, got it." And so that saved me.
That's
My
funny.
mom's birthday is easy. She's a New Year's baby.
That is
Nice. There you
easy.
go.
Okay, what is your hidden talent?
Hidden talent.
I don't even know if I
Ooh,
have one.
I don't know. Most of the things that I do are pretty public. Hidden talent. Uh, something I can do that I just do here at home.
Do you sing? Do you dance?
I cannot sing and I cannot dance.
Do you write?
A few shots and I can dance, but
It's real hidden.
it's very hidden. Hidden. That's a tough question.
Okay, how about let's switch it up? If there was any talent you would want, what would it be?
Ooh. Um, I would say increase my golf skills. I golf a lot. I'm not very good, but I have a lot of fun. And if I could be a better golfer, that'd be awesome. And
Get hole in ones every time.
right. Um, I
But
should
would
probably
that
pick
be
something
as
that helps
fun? I don't
people.
know. If you're always
It would
winning,
be
is
the
that
first
fun?
time.
I just like to
First
be
time.
excited for some of my shots. I'm not
Trick
great, but
shots.
it's a lot of fun. There you go, trick shots. If I was just like behind the back, whoosh,
Hmm.
down fairway, that'd be cool.
I've only gone miniature golfing, so.
Yeah, same.
Miniature golf is a lot of fun. I love mini golf.
It's yeah, it is. It's okay.
Okay, if you could be part of a sports organization, what role would you be in charge of?
I would be a mascot.
Yes, I love that answer.
I've always thought that was like a really cool job, and if I was taller, I think you gotta be tall, right?
Probably.
I'm only
I've
six
never
seven.
seen a short Sharky.
Exactly. I'd imagine they're taller people, so I'd love to be a mascot. I think that'd be amazing. I would love to do all the promotion stuff and obviously like the giving back parts and community service. That'd be cool. Um, for how psyched I got to see Sharky for the first time, that was amazing. I wish I would have saved it, but I got to be on the front newspaper for our local front page for the local newspaper of like Sharky holding me and picking me up. I was a small kid at the time in elementary, but it was just so excited. Like that sparked a huge thing in my brain of like hockey and Sharky and our local community. So I think if I could do that for other people, that'd be really cool. While also, bungee jumping or riding an ATV on the ice, that fun stuff too. Looks like a lot of fun.
Would you be
Coming
down
down
for
from the
how?
ceiling.
Yeah. How do you feel about
Absolutely.
that?
I'm a
Okay.
big thrill seeker, adrenaline junkie. I love skydiving, bungee jumping. I'll try anything. The only thing I don't
So
want to do is parasailing.
I don't
For the
want to do
sake
any of the
of
things you just said.
my feet dangling in the water while I'm waiting for them to pick me back up, not interested.
Have you seen any of those videos where people are scaling alongside the mountain? Like there's little walkways and they're
Yes.
like all buckled up. Is that
Free
something you'd like to
climbing
do?
and um maybe I don't see the thrill in that. That's more of a fear. I'm not afraid of heights, but to think I've watched a lot of the Netflix documentaries of the guys who've done that. The ones who do it without ropes or without any type of safety, they just free climb and they do like the biggest mountains and set world records. Whoo! I think it's really cool that they go up and do these things, but then to think they've got to get back down the same way.
Mm-hmm.
but without
That's
using muscle
exhausting.
to pull themselves up, they're resisting falling the whole time. It's insane. I can't say I wouldn't do it to that level. I'd like to try
Mm.
amateur. That looks fun, but none of the serious stuff.
We'll
It's
we'll
Back
root
good
we'll root
time.
for you from the ground.
Yeah,
go.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people look
Back.
at like skydiving the same way, but
Yeah, I can't.
I just see
I
like I'm
have
probably gonna die if I rock climb.
I, I have big anxiety issues. I can't. Falling, no thank you. Anything with
It's
heights,
fun.
no thank
I
you.
would highly recommend it. It's such a
Uh,
rush.
mm, I'm okay. I think I'll pass on that one.
Yeah.
Back to your mascot thing. I love that answer. I also had an experience not with Sharky because I live up in like the northern East Bay.
Okay.
When I was in sixth grade, my PE teacher somehow had a connection with the mascot from the Warriors when they used to have one. And so she invited him over to do like this sort of event for the school. And I remember him just like doing trick shots, dunks, and stuff like that.
That's
And I was like, this
awesome.
is like the coolest thing ever. It's so much fun when you're a kid. I mean, it's awesome when you're an adult, but it's just so much more fun when you're a kid. So
Yeah.
I get.
It almost feels like a hero or something that's you see it on TV, so it's like something that's almost untouchable. You'll never see that person. You just are always gonna see him on TV, so it's like a huge like starstruck moment.
Celebrity.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So outside of Sharky, who would you say is the next coolest mascot?
Uh I'd have to say uh oh man, what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? Flyers. Everybody knows him.
Oh,
Gritty.
Gritty!
Gritty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, he pushes the limits on what you probably should be doing with fans, but it's great.
Mm-hmm.
He came
Love it.
busting through those doors and I was like, you guys
Yeah.
are gonna love me. And everyone did.
Yeah. He does it every
Yeah,
day.
initially I was like, what
He's so
the
creepy.
hell? But now I'm just like, yeah, he's like no other mascot. He does, I love his little belly button thing.
Yeah.
It's a little creepy when he's naked, though. I'm like, that's a little, I don't know
My
how to feel
favorite
about
part,
that.
his big old googly eyes.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he wins the award for flair.
Mm-hmm.
Most pizzazz.
All right, so if you were to write a book, what would it be about?
I hate reading, but so I wouldn't
But this
expect
is
anyone to
writing.
read my book.
Okay, if you could write any song, what would it be about?
If I could write a song, that's a great question. I would sing about my family, my wife, my son. Yeah,
Oh, I love that.
I love my wife and son. I love my family. Just
Aw.
that's we're big. Sundays are our family days, so tonight we get to go out to dinner. Just break from the house, break from everything. No work, just hang out, enjoy food, make each other laugh. So yeah, I'd sing about them.
Yeah,
Oh.
Good
that's
question.
cute.
It made it easier. I wouldn't have connected that with writing a book about them.
I'm hungry
Oh.
now. You keep mentioning food.
I'm dying for some sushi. I think that
I
might be
just had some
tonight's
last
menu.
night.
Hey, where do you go around there?
Oh, I just DoorDashed it.
No, like what
I don't even.
restaurants?
Uh, I don't know where the restaurant was or what it's called because my girlfriend DoorDashed it. But there is one here down in our little downtown area, and I just forgot what it's called because I don't go there often.
Get a name, let me know. I love traveling, and two things we always look for is sushi and ramen.
We
Nice.
only have one sushi place in Hercules, so it wouldn't be hard to
Oh wow,
find.
So if you
there you
just
go.
search it, you'll find it.
You will
Okay.
find it.
Do you guys have ramen there?
No, I think you'd probably have to go to Pinole, so like next door.
I'm gonna have to look all this up. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, northern East Bay, close to Vallejo.
Find it.
In San Jose, have you been to Ramen Taka?
No. Is it good?
It's in the downtown area. Oh, I eat there probably every other month or something when I get a craving for ramen.
Nice.
It's just perfect. They've just got the perfect amount of noodles, and the broth is just really hearty. And I've had some of their other stuff, but I mean, they're called
Nice.
ramen because obviously that's their
Ramen
specialty.
Taka. I'm gonna check that out.
It's off of the Alameda, so if you're in the downtown area, it's off
Is it
that
kind of
main.
by Costco?
Yes,
I've been told
like if
about
you
that
go,
place.
so it's near that area, and then also pretty close to Santa Clara University. So like in
Yeah,
that region, yeah.
I've been told about that place. I hear it's really good. We usually go to Ramanagi.
I'm not familiar with where that is.
You haven't been to Ramanagi?
I don't
Well,
know,
there's
man. I mean, ramen tacos just taking care of me. So
which is what's the
Oil.
mall across from? Oh man, that bougie shopping place. My
Valley
name,
Fair.
my Valley Fair. There you go, Valley Fair.
Is
As
it
weird as it
across the street
sounds.
from that?
Yeah, so it's inside the mall. It's in the actual mall.
Oh, I don't usually go
Um,
in there to eat.
yeah, nobody does. And somebody took me there, and I was like, "You brought me to a mall spot to eat? Like, your credibility just went out the window." And then when we get there, the line is wrapped around the entire like little section
Hmm.
right there. I was like, "Okay, that's a little more promising." But it moves super
Okay.
fast. Limited items, but oh my god, amazing! I'd say so far the best spot. And it's right there in your backyard. Definitely check it out this week. The weather's getting cold. Perfect time for
Yeah.
ramen.
I haven't had ramen in so long. Maybe I'll get some.
It's so good. If you're into spicy food, they let you pick your level of spice, and oh man, I
I'm a
go pretty
weenie.
high. It's really good.
Just a little
Ramen.
bit.
They have another one in
I just
Palo
want the
Alto.
little kick. Otherwise, I can't
Yeah,
enjoy it.
Yeah,
I like to sweat a little bit.
I got some Korean food a couple of weeks back, and I do like the Korean red paste, but my stomach did not agree with me after the second day of eating the leftovers. It was like, you need to
Yikes.
stop. The lining of your stomach is going away. You need to stop.
I feel you. It's hot.
Yeah. All right. And with that, do you have any shout outs?
Shout outs. Well, first, thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you
Um,
for coming on.
I'm so glad you guys reached out. I love meeting people in the hockey community, especially local. One thing we're struggling with is our local community. It's so easy to get people everywhere else, but um, hockey people here stay in their hockey lane. So,
Well,
um,
try to change that a little bit.
right on. That's good. Um, Shout outs. My wife, my son. You already know them on the list. Um, let's go with our followers for sure. Anybody listening? Shout out to you. Greatly appreciate you guys taking the time to hear what Jay and Nessa had to say and ask. Hopefully, you guys start following them in their podcast. That'd be great. Um,
And the
yeah.
same goes for you. Hopefully, folks that are tuning in from, our audience will start checking out your stuff. Do you have anything upcoming that you can talk about?
We've got a few designs ready to come out. What's cool is a lot of things we tried early on that kind of failed. Things like tank tops or even hoodies. Hoodies were
Hmm.
super hard to push when we first started. And I think I get it. It's kind of more of an expensive item, and people will usually stick to their favorite brands for something like that. But they're getting heavily requested lately, so I'm really excited to bring back like our long sleeve shirts, our hoodies. People have been asking for that stuff, so we got hoodies coming out, some new designs, which are not skulls. Um, Trying to steer away from the skulls for a little bit. We overdid it. But yeah, keep an eye out. But as far
Yeah.
as who will be supporting, I don't know. It's always a question mark, but we find somebody or someone falls in our lap, and we will find a cool organization to help out. We can't accept everybody, obviously, but if it fits right in our little niche of how we can help, hey, always open to suggestions.
We'll ask our followers too. We can send them
Yeah,
your way.
definitely.
All right. And with that, we'd like to thank Elijah again for coming on to the podcast. And I am your host, Jay.
I'm Nessa. Thanks
And
for
we'll
joining.
see you on the next episode. Take care.